Alright, we're going to be watching Positiviteve, who is playing Symmetra, Ashe, and Sombra on Havana. This is Bronze 4. I don't know if this is PC or console. There's a bunch of text here. Basically, they're saying, hey, they asked for advice and they finally are kind of posting replay code and they're looking for people to help. And they said, I know at the end of this match I was more worried about losing because I don't like being in bronze for reasons mentioned previously. I know my mental was shaken at the end because our other DPS was furious that I wasn't putting enough pressure on Widow, but outside of that, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Hopefully one of you guys can help me out a bit. First thing I would say is mute everybody if you need to. If you get tilted at all, if literally your teammates lower your game performance by even 1%, you should just disable everything. Like the amount of times that you'll get flamed versus the amount of times you'll get helpful callouts is very, very low in random solo queuing. So I would recommend that if you get tilted by teammates, that you mute your teammates, or you leave voice chat, you leave text chat, and you leave match chat, and you will be a happier gamer for it and just enjoy the game. Number one. Number two, let's talk about the actual game. So Symmetra, I don't really play Symmetra, but this is bronze, so I probably can still give you advice. Talking about the turrets real quick. So for turrets, there's three main strategies, okay? Number one is using turrets to defend main. Number two is using them to defend the side route. And number three is the teleport bomb. And you can, of course, mix that up as you so wish. The general idea for turrets, if you're holding main, is the turrets will get destroyed very, very quickly. So, for example, if you walk up right here, they're going to be like, oh, turrets are shooting, and they're going to blow them up, and they do 100 damage. That's not very helpful. So, for example, if you threw them up, like, over here, when they try to turn this corner, they'll get zapped by the turrets, and they have to choose to shoot you or the turrets. The problem with main is that over here, they're really, really far away, so it's relatively easy for them to deal with the turrets quickly, and then move on. Right? So I would think to try to use the turrets in less of a forward position and try to synergize it with like important chokes or corners like this one to build more damage. I don't think this is a great choke in general. I don't think this is a great first point for Symmetra at all. But if you didn't want to put them in, I would think about it that way. Number two would be using to hold second or the side route. So, for example, you could put them over here and zap people as they come in because they might get injured here, for example, and then walk in and just instantly die to the turrets. It also gives you advanced warning if anyone's trying to flank, stuff like that. Just some food for thought. It's probably not going to be a big deal in the overall grand scheme of things. You're spamming. It's fine. So you're way too far forward right now. So you're doing what's called frontlining. So in general, in Overwatch, and I'm going to cover this because I presume you're fairly new to the game, right? If you're bronze 4, then you're either fairly new to the game or you haven't really had anybody explain to you maybe how the basics of the game work. In general, if you are playing DPS or you're playing support, you should never be ahead of your tank. Okay? So draw like a line between your tank and their tank, right? So this line would go this way. And the short answer is you should just never cross that line. And ideally, you don't even go in front of your tank at all. So just always stay behind your tank is a good general rule that applies to 90% plus of the heroes. There are very few exceptions to this rule. So you running out here, you can see how if the Rhine chooses to just turn around and attack you, you're going to die. There's nothing your team can do to save you at this point in time. And it's very, very important to not die, because if you die, then you can't change the outcome of the fight. And if you want to climb, you need to change the outcome of the fight. So this is a huge overextension by you. Their Rhine is also overextended. The Rhine is really far out around a corner. You can see how the turrets here would have been helpful. And he's going to die here for this. But what you did, you should have died for where you were. That's number one. Number two is you should recognize how much damage attacks do. So, for example, Junkrat does 100 damage on a mine. 120 damage on a mine. Not a mine, a grenade. It's pipe bombs. So you barely get over this threshold by 2 health, which prevents you from getting one shot. So instead of doing that, you should have been like, hey, look, I'm at 105 health. I should just wait a second for my supports to heal me, like literally 1 second, 2 seconds, and then peek. Right? Peeking meaning to turn the corner. So very, very important here, because this is honestly like would be a very sloppy death if you died here and you just barely lived. Like, this is not skill. You clearly did not calculate this, that you were not going to die right now. The Widow also could have killed you right now. So I would say just play a little bit safer and get healed. Now you're playing safe because you're 2 health, but 100 health, also play safe. I would say a good general breakpoint is 120 damage. Many attacks in the game do 120 damage exactly, so I would avoid those. and 150 is the next breakpoint. If you have 151 health, you will survive almost all attacks in the game that are not like a sniper headshot. So just think of those breakpoints is I would almost never peak if I'm under 120 health, and I would rarely peak if I'm under 150. Like, it's worth it to just pause a second to get healed up. So now that you're healed, you gotta be spamming, right? Just spam right clicks right over and over and over again. You don't want to be wasting time. Like this time period right now where you're idle. So this is 110, right? 1, 2, 3, right? 4. Like basically, it takes you 4 seconds to get back into the fight. That's a really long time. And your Doomfist during this is actually in and fighting. And your spam, for example, like one right click into this Junkrat would have got him super, super low, and then somebody might have killed him, right? See? Like if you spammed one more at him, he would die. He is 30 health right now. So little things like just trying to be engaged for the fight at the right time and staying active are really, really important. I think this is generally fine to walk forward. I think your whole team's kind of walking forward right now. The problem is your Doom is dead, so you either need to retreat right now or you need to die. Those are your two options. So you're choosing retreat, which is fine. So I think it's probably the right call to not chase the Reinhardt. Like obviously you walk across this, you're just getting shot from the right. So I think you just chill, wait for your Doomfist to come back. I don't think you could hold this corner anymore. So typically when your tank dies, you need to give up one corner. So this is the very first corner, okay? This is the second corner, and obviously this is the point. So I would give up this corner and kind of accept the fact that your Zen's gonna die and play back here, wait for your Doom to come back, and then re-engage with your Doom. Because you need your Doom to take up some pressure away from you, right? You have to distract them so that you can do damage. You could have left clip beam there for the record. I'm going to assume this is controller based on your mouse movements. So this is an aggressive move. You kind of teleport into her face. I think this is tough for me to say because this is not a thing that I am familiar with. Okay, so you decide to go after the Widow. I would generally not... I mean, this is quite brave because she could have just headshot you as you came through this. Like, at least you could have put it in, like, left window or something. But that's fine. I think I generally am fine with pressuring the Widow here. I think putting the turrets on her was also okay. I guess this is fine. In the grand scheme of things, I guess this is fine. I don't think you would have gotten away with this at higher ranks, but considering the situation, I think this was okay. So you're regrouping right now. Your team is what is called staggered, where you're not able to get a real team fight because people just keep trickling in and dying. You put the turrets out. I wouldn't put all your turrets in the same spot in general because then people can kill them. Like, for example, Reinhardt can kill all these in one swing, which you probably will in a second. Yeah, see? And you have to recognize, look, can I do something right now? So there's 3 of you. There are 5 of them. It's not likely that you can do something right now. I would wait as long as I possibly could and just spam over here and wait for my team to come back and rejoin me and then contest at the last possible second. That's what I would do here. Because you want to maximize your chances of winning the fight, right? Fighting 3v5, the chance of you winning this fight is probably less than 10%. But if you wait for even one more to come, then your chance goes up like 25%. And if you have all 5, then it's a 50% fight. So always try to maximize your chances of winning. Widow's going to die here, or Widow gets a pick. So at a certain point, you're going to need to engage here. I think you're probably engaging still. Yeah, no, this is fine. I guess you had to. Yeah, you're right in the card. You're doing the right thing. So you're kiting the Rhine, going for the Mercy. Yeah, I think you did about the best that you could there. Under the circumstances, I think you did about the best you could. Did your job, try to stall a card. Unfortunate. So we're going to come back again. You go as... Whoa, what? Sorry. So, did you pop ulti? You did not pop ulti. So I would not have swapped off here. I think that was a mistake. So Symmetra ultimate is very, very powerful, number 1. Number 2 is the second point is way better for Symmetra than it is for the first point. So Symmetra's bad at wide open maps. Okay, there's lots of open spots here. There's nowhere to put a turret. It's easy for them to kill turrets. This point is much better for Symmetra because you can put turrets all over the place, right? All over the walls, the ceilings, on top of objects. You can sneak them into like tricky little spots, right? You can put them over here. There's so many places that you can put sim turrets to make their life miserable. And I think a combination of this point being Symmetra favored, A, And B, the combination that you have ultimate, you have 2% away from ultimate, means that I think it's a mistake to swap right now. Also, you're swapping to a long-range hero, medium to long-range hero, which is Ashe. If anything, you should have been playing Ashe on this point and then swap Symmetra for the second point. So you're doing like the exact opposite of what I would say is, of these two choices, optimal hero choices for this game. So you're coming forward right now, and always when you come forward, be like, hey, how many teammates do I have with me? I have 2 teammates here. I have 1 teammate who's way the heck over there for whatever reason. It's a Sombra. Okay? You know what you're missing? You're missing your tank. So I don't want to fight here. Right? I just cannot fight right now. I do not want to die. Like, if you feel safe going here and just spamming, that's fine. Just don't die right now. You have to pressure this Widow. You don't seem to notice the Widow. Oh, that's bad. So you see the Widow jumps up on your screen. It doesn't seem like you register the fact that she's on your screen. Because it looks like you're probably tunnel visioned into the center of your screen, is my guess. But I think this is an important, like, multiplayer shooter gaming moment where you have to recognize, hey, look, the Widow came up. It's your job to peel that Widow for your Zed. Right? Like, that's what you need to be doing right now, is you need to be like, oh, shoot, there's a Widow up here, and you need to be shooting her right now so that she doesn't kill your Zed, which is what she's going to do right now. So you're a little slow to react here. All right, you hit a couple shots. You hit two out of I think 7, which is not great, but it's not terrible, right? You do force her off. Great, you kill her with dynamite. Excellent. You also should have reloaded at some point. I would have reloaded, because you can interrupt reload at any moment in time with Ashe. So you should always be reloading when you're not shooting, because it doesn't stop your next shot at all. So again, you should be reloaded back to like 8-ish ammo right now, and then you could still have thrown the dynamite and popped it. You should be reloading right now. Now you make a big mistake. So Ashe is really good at medium to long range. So Junkrat, very good at close range. So you do not want to be dropping into the Junkrat's face. You want to stay on high ground and shoot him from high ground, and then if you take damage, be like, oh, nope, and just hide using the high ground. So it is a big mistake here to drop onto the ground. Right? And now you only have 1 bullet left. I don't think you realize how much ammo you have, is my guess. So right now, you're tunnel visioning. So you're like, oh, the Junkrat's here, let me kill the Junkrat. But the Mercy is actually on your screen to the right and totally vulnerable right now. So you could kill this Mercy in like 3-4 shots right now. So I'm not 100% sure what's happening right now, but it looks like you're looking at the Junkrat, but you're not shooting for some reason. I don't really know exactly what's going on here. I don't know if you're having some technical difficulties or something along those lines, but it's probably a good idea to shoot the Junkrat. I presume something wonky has happened here as to why you are not shooting. So it's really good dynamite. You can kill a Mercy right now. That's really good aim. Unfortunately, you cannot kill the Moira in time. So a couple tips here. I would say number 1 is, again, just chill a little bit because you're not synced up with your team, right? Basically, the reason why you guys are losing every single fight is because you're never fighting 5-on-5, but you're part of that problem, right? You're constantly kind of running in as soon as you spawn, just running into the enemy and just dying in like the meat grinder over and over again. You can chuck this dynamite from further away. You don't need to walk all the way to the edge, and that's actually what causes you to take some damage. Okay, so you see how you walk so close to the edge and then throw the dynamite and pop it, and that means that you're going to eat all this damage from down below, and then the Moira gets on top of you. And now, even though your aim is actually pretty good here, you eat that fire strike with the coach gun, and now you're gonna die. You don't quite eat the fire strike, but you get spammed out. So again, what could you have done differently? I think number 1, just don't walk in this early. Number 2, probably play this angle, which is safer for you, right? And then dynamite from here, and then drop on cart at the last possible moment. But this is a really bad situation no matter what. It's unlikely that anybody could have done significantly better at that point. It's the previous mistake that really cost you. So I think you're trying to regroup your team right now, which is great. For the record, Ashe is pretty good long-range damage. Her fall-off isn't as short as a lot of other heroes, so this spot's actually surprisingly good for you. So you're looking for dynamite. Don't walk in straight lines. So this Widow really should have killed you right now, but she's not quite able to see you. So you're gonna throw that dynamite. I think the dynamite is too early for where it is. I think that you need to chuck it over towards the right more. Good headshot. By the way, your DPS is actually higher unscoped than it is scoped. So if you need to kill somebody quickly, unscope and just shoot away at them really, really fast. You put Bob here, and this is unfortunately is a bad Bob. And the reason being is not because the Bob is ineffective, which is not the case. I'm pretty sure this Bob's actually going to kill everybody. Oh, wow, that's really unlucky. Well, assuming the Bob landed here, which is where you meant to send it, it's very unlucky that Junkrat managed to pop him up in the air like that. But assuming the Bob landed here, yes, would it have killed everyone? Absolutely, right? It would have been an effective ultimate. But is it an ultimate that was good overall? No. And the reason being is because the Reinhardt died right before this, right? So if you might remember from earlier, I talked about how if you're in a 4-on-5 situation, your odds of winning the fight are only about 25%. So because their Reinhardt's dead and you haven't lost anybody in your team, you're about 75% favored to win this fight anyway. So I would not throw Bob here because I'd rather save the Bob for a 50% fight situation instead of a 20 or a 75% fight situation, if that makes sense. Ult economy, using ults at the right time, is very, very important because with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, you have to win the next 6 to 7 team fights in a row. And if you use Bob right now, that means that you're not going to get to use Bob in the next 2 team fights, right? Which is going to be very problematic if they push through. Decent dynamite. Widow'll get you, but I kind of understand that. I mean, I think that all things considered, that's fine. Right? I mean, Widow's going to hit shots. There are techniques, by the way, to check for a Widow without dying to her, but I think that's way too advanced for your level. if you want to know what I'm talking about, I actually have a guide on how supports can kill Widows, right? Deal with Widows, and you can look that up because the same tips are going to apply to DPS. And the short answer is you can juggle Peeker. So you tunnel vision to try to kill this Widow. You coach gun, not super effectively, but the Rhine somehow does not notice where you are, so it works out. Again, as a reminder, just shooting unscoped kills targets faster. As long as they're not really far away. Another good reminder about how your range that you want to be playing. Ashe does not want to be playing this range. This is what I would consider close range. All right? Ashe wants to be playing medium to long range. So you want to be playing like here or even here. Junkrat, close range, very dangerous because he has the ability to one-shot you like that. Like, you see how fast you die? You have no ability to respond to this whatsoever. Like, you die instantly to this attack. So that's no good for you, right? Again, knowing the Junkrat is there, just be like, hey, chill. Let my Echo clear from that angle, and then work in when the Junkrat's push back. Or I can come this way too if I want to. Or alternatively, you can go window, right, which is also quite strong for you. So that's good. All right, Moira's not dodging. Great, we love it. Unfortunately, you missed it, but understandable. Junkrat's low. Good. Oh, the dynamite bounced off his face. So, generally speaking, when a Reinhardt is charging towards you, you should not run towards him. I would say that is not such a... Yeah, especially since that ends up getting your Moira killed. I think the correct response to this would simply be, oh, he's charging? Just back up. When I have only 4 shots, the per shot damage is going to be higher when I scope. So I would just, from here, I would go to the right, I would scope, and I would go headshot, headshot, headshot. And if he veers to the left coming at me, I coach gun around the corner. Is what you should have done here. Instead of running towards him, which also bounced him off course, because clearly your Moira was not expecting this. See? From the Moira's perspective, it's very clear. Like, she's like, oh, I'm all set, I'm fine, like, I'm safe. Then you bunch you in, and she's like, oh no. Now, obviously, she had time to react to this, but you don't want to make life harder on your teammates. So, this Bob is, again, not at the right time, because this is currently, if you look around, a 5-on-1 situation, right? You still have 2 in spawn, and you have 2 teammates who are dead. So, this Bob is not going to do anything, theoretically. Yeah. So, see? Everyone just zones out the Bob. It doesn't do anything. It literally does nothing, right? So, what you should have done is simply hid around the corner, waited for your team to regroup, and then pop Bob in the next fight, and that would have been a good time to pop Bob. So your ult timing, like understanding when to ult, I think is totally off, right? I think you really need to think about when to pop ulti versus just like popping ulti whenever. That grab is terrible. Okay. I really hope this is console and not PC. Anyway, stuff happens here. I don't think it's anything worth analyzing, but stuff happens. Throw dynamite. Brian is doing some odd things. You can kill this Moira right now through trance. Uh, Trance heals 300 health a second, which is way more than Coalescence does. I would have thrown dynamite right here if she was gonna stay like that. I would have dynamited her right now and forced the fade out. Oh, you missed the dynamite. That was actually would have been a huge dynamite. Good kill on the Moira. Tiger gets some kills, and I think you're ultimately gonna end up losing this. Okay, so let's talk about offense. Getting around, you're looking for the Widow. For the record, they can hear translocator, so I would have just ran up the stairs because when you're cloaked, you can actually run up. They can't hear your footsteps. Oh, okay. All right, you get her. So definitely, it's important to be able to one-clip Widows. I'm glad you didn't try to hack her. I think the common mistake is that people try to hack here. I think you just shoot. So you should shoot right now, and the aim's good initially. What messes you up here is that you end up doing it. You end up walking forwards, which is unnecessary. So once you start shooting, you can even just stand still right now and just shoot her. Right? But you see how you inch forward, which means when she starts moving to the right, she's moving very quickly on your screen, and that causes you to lose track of her. But she's already low enough at this point that a melee plus one bullet would kill her. But you do end up getting a kill, so that's good, right? Good value right there. She's dead. You're gonna cloak. So yeah, I think you're checking to see if Mercy's gonna res, which is great. Shooting the Mercy, this is good. I don't think you need the reload right there. So Sombra has a lot of ammo. So you still have 30 ammo like that. You can just keep shooting the Rhine right now. Just farm ult charge, right? Farming ult charge is great. You can also camp the Widow, by the way, which would be great. So you need to figure out a plan to get out of here, because you don't have translocator. I think you should have thrown translocator down before you, like, at least thrown it up here or something, so that you have an escape plan. Because right now you have no escape plan as Sombra, which is a problem. So Moira's come back to heal a Mercy, great. I would grab the Mega first before doing this, just because like, you have plenty of time, right? Just grab the Mega health back over here, and then come back, and then you have twice as much health. Oh, you kill the Widow, great. She apparently forgets the fact that Sombra exists in this game. You go back to the cart, presumably someone's gonna heal you, great. Oh man, you eat the spam. Oh, Widow got rezzed. So I think you can go forward and... Oh, I think you're looking for the Widow. So you should have killed the Symmetra, but she dies anyway. Another note about... I don't know who you're trying to shoot here. It's almost like you're trying to shoot your Moira. So a lot of stuff goes wrong here. I would say that my advice here would be, like, first of all, kill a sim. Great. Let the sim die. Great. Number one. Number two is then look for the, assuming you have stealth, right? Use that opportunity to go hunt down the Widow again. Right? Because the Widow clearly is not, like, adjusting well to your play, so I would keep punishing her until she does. Great. Ryan dies. I don't know what this res is. I would cloak right now and go, yep. I'd go after the Widow. Yeah, I would go to the left. So running forward, they're going to detect you. So I would go to the left here and go around them. See? When you walk forward, it automatically exposes you, right? Once you get within like 5 meters or whatever. You did help kill the Junkrat, which is great. But I think that the Junkrat probably would have died anyway. So this is fine. You're going for the Mercy. Great. Mercy's super low. Got one out. Great. Excellent. Good pick. I think you can even translocate. Yeah, translocate there and fighter. Did she... Yeah, she dies here. The damage orb. Cool. Nobody to hack. Yep, just kill the Rhine. Good. So far, I would say your Sombra looks a lot better than your Ashe or Symmetra did. That's kind of my read so far. So you go for the Mercy. This is pretty dangerous because the Widow could kill you right now. You also only have 9 ammo. So I think a general rule is that you're also forgetting about your ammo situation because you probably would have killed the Mercy here if you actually had ammo because she gets very low. Right? She gets that. Yeah, you would have killed her if you had ammo. I think you definitely forgot about your ammo situation. Okay. Okay, we got it. Good. So this appears to be a pretty one-sided offense so far. So you have EMP. You can use this to shut down Coalescence. Great. I like this. Kill Moira. Great. Things are going well. So you have two options. You can either go after the backline or kill the Rhine. I'd probably just help kill the Rhine right now. So I would even have gone... I guess they have hacks right now, so... I would stealth and go after the Rhine to confirm the Rhine kill. But he's going to die anyway. I would have stealthed right now and then gone after the Widow. Yeah. Why are you detected? That's weird. What detects you? Do you... What detects you here? Oh, you eat this random right click. That's what happens. So, that's unfortunate. You're going to need to chill, wait for healing. Again, get the Mega. So, you see how you cross in front. You have to be careful about crossing like fields of fire because you're going to walk into Sim Beam and that's going to zap you and expose you. Which gets you low. I would probably default to staying cloaked if you don't need it. Like, coming back, I don't understand why you didn't cloak right now. Like, you could have cloaked and gone this way. You could have cloaked and gone through this way. Cloaking makes you faster, right? They don't see you. It's safer. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't cloak here. Right? And then you could have gotten to the backline a little easier. I wouldn't worry about the Rhine. I would kill the supports, right? General rule is kill supports first. This Moira is super alone and half health back here. You could even hack the Mercy, for example. But apparently that doesn't cancel Valk Flight because it's broken. Yeah, this is unfortunate. I think that you could have cloaked right now and gotten away. But you choose to duel the Mercy at low health, which is or Moira, which is not so good. So your perspective here should be, hey, let me try to farm another ulti. You're at 50% so far. You're trying to kill the Widow. Oh, that was close. Oh, you lost your tank. You have a... It's funny, you both under-reload and over-reload. So you have 54 ammo right now, or 48 ammo, and you see the Moira's here. You could have just shot the Moira right now. But instead, you decide to reload, which cost you valuable time. You really need to get out of here. You should probably think about throwing Translator here somewhere safe. So, for example, high ground to the right, high ground to the left, just quite frankly anywhere would have been fine. And then Symmetra's on your left and you don't hear her. Okay, so I'm gonna jump forward to the end just because in the interest of time, and let's just kind of see the situation now. So you don't have to push it very far, very winnable, right? This is one and a half team fights, definitely very winnable. So let's kind of watch from here. It's funny because you said your teammate was like flaming you for not going after the Widow. I feel like you're going after the Widow too much. You're like obsessively going after the Widow. It feels like you're like literally not doing anything but going after the Widow. I think your aim kind of lets you down there. So 2 are dead. You could still kill the Widow. Nope. Now she's in the Mercy here. You could cloak right now and get away. You really should cloak. Trying to duel right now when the Mercy's healing her is not gonna work. You just can't do enough damage. So don't duel people who are being pocketed. Moira fades in, so this is an easy kill right now. Moira is like super overextended. She should die. Ugh. Unfortunate. Moira low, yeah. I think this is just a mess in general at this point. Yep, Ryan's low. That's a good hack, right? Oh, still winnable. Very definitely winnable game. Definitely winnable game. They're all extremely low. Should go for the Junkrat. The Junkrat was an easy kill. You see, he has 50 health right now. The Mercy's not healing him at all. He has 30 health right now. You could kill him in literally like a 1/10 of a second. Oh, you ate that grenade or pipe bomb unnecessarily. You see it coming at you. You could dodge this just by staying behind the cart, and you have EMP in a second. Oh, see, you shouldn't have left the cart, right? Just make it difficult for them. Stay behind the cart right now. You saw that he's spamming the shots down the right side. If you just stay behind the cart, you buy like just enough time that maybe you could do something. Like you could do like a translocate EMP or something like that to potentially turn this around. Nope. Okay. So, in summary, I think that you need to prioritize your survival. Number one, I think you're dying to a lot of silly things that are very preventable, like spam damage. Like you have a lot of deaths to spam damage that if you're just paying attention and looking at thinking about how much health you have and breakpoints, you would not die. That's really big. Number one. Number two, you need to get a lot more value out of your ultimates. You got to figure out like when you should ultimate, which I talked about considerably, but like basically being able to turn an even fight is really important versus using ultimates in a one fight or a lost fight. And then, I mean, lastly, I would say there's like a lot of general FPS things that I think you don't have a lot of experience with, right? Like remembering to reload, understanding to take cover, how to duel someone in a 1v1, not walking in front of spam, not walking in front of the enemy team in general, forgetting to cloak, apparently, sometimes not shooting your gun. There's a lot of kind of like a grab bag stuff, of items that I think that you'll get better at with more practice. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Hopefully this is helpful.